Hey guys, today I'll be discussing the CompTIA Network Plus test, my personal experience with the test, studying for it, the timeline I took when studying for the test, and my personal experience taking the test, and overall a glimpse into what you could do when studying for the CompTIA Network Plus so you could be as prepared as possible. Mind you, this isn't an in-depth video on the Network Plus test and studying tips exactly. This is just an overall glimpse into my personal experience. So if you're looking for a more in-depth video on certain questions, this isn't the video for that. This is my personal experience taking the CompTIA Network Plus test. So if you're looking for that, this isn't the video for you. So let's get into it first of all with the timeline I took to study for the CompTIA Network Plus test. It took me possibly 3 to 4 months to study for the CompTIA Network Plus test, and it took me a little bit longer. Personally, it was hard for me to study for the CompTIA Network Plus test. Some people finish earlier, like 1 to 2 months, and some other people take longer like me, like 3 to 4 months, or maybe even 6 months really. But personally, it took me a little while to study and finish studying for the CompTIA Network Plus test. So personally, for studying, I did practice questions from Jason Dion on Udemy, and also I did study groups for Professor Messer for the Network Plus as well to get prepared for the test. Those were my main two methods, and also just reading the Network Plus book. Those were the three main methods I used before taking the Network Plus test. The hardest topics I had to study for the Network Plus test was subnetting, which was super hard, but also some unknown terms that I wasn't aware of when studying for the Network Plus test. So be prepared when taking the Network Plus test that there are many unknown terms when studying for the Network Plus test, so you aren't caught off guard when dealing with certain questions while taking the test, because there are a lot of terms. And the final thing was actually setting up the date for the test, writing down the location, paying for the test, and being prepared to take that test on that date. I would say the biggest thing is actually setting up the date for the test. That means it's actually happening and you actually have a goal for the date to set. So you know how long to study for and to actually prepare for that date, so you know it's happening and you actually spent your money on it and you're actually going to take the test, because that's a big key factor. So you may be asking, did the test go good? Did it go bad? What was the outcome of me taking the CompTIA Network Plus test? And the answer is simple. I did pretty bad. I barely passed the CompTIA Network Plus test. Even after studying so long and hard, after reading the book, I barely passed it with only a few points. And actually, I was a little taken aback by this. After studying so long and hard for the test, I only passed by a few points. And I was so messed up about this. Even though people told me it was alright and I still passed, I still was a little bit messed up about barely passing the CompTIA Network Plus. So things that I wish I worked on more while studying for the CompTIA Network Plus was actually the project-based questions. I feel like I kind of skimmed over the long project-based questions, but that's actually an important factor when taking the CompTIA Network Plus, because all those questions are actually in the beginning of the test. So you actually have to be prepared when taking that CompTIA Network Plus test, because all the big questions that you're ever going to take are in the beginning of the test, and you actually have to manage your time well with the multiple choice questions and the long based questions. So you really have to focus on both aspects to really gain a grasp on both aspects of the test, the long base and the multiple choice. So don't try to miss out on one aspect. Try to focus on both so you could be thoroughly prepared. The second aspect I really wish I focused hard on was just taking my time and managing my time, because I feel like I was a little bit stressed because I never dealt with the CompTIA test before. So I was a little bit stressed and I didn't manage my time very well. And I was kind of overwhelmed by the amount of long-based questions I received during the test. So my final thoughts are, is it hard taking the Network Plus test, or is it easy? What did I think when taking the Network Plus? So my thoughts on taking the Network Plus is it's definitely hard. There are terms on there, there are long-based questions, there are multiple choice questions that are very hard to answer just simply off of just basic knowledge. You really need to study hard for this test, and some on Reddit even say it's harder than the Security Plus test. So I would just study hard for the Network Plus. You never know what you're going to see on it. Study the long base, study multiple choice, study all the questions, and also get thoroughly involved into the book. Read the book if you can. I would study in any way possible so you get the best outcome while taking the test, so you're not missing any bases. Because there are a lot of terms, there are a lot of long base questions, there are a lot of multiple choice questions, a variety that you really won't know about until you're into the test. And I would just study for it all because you never know what you're going to be hit with. Because I studied hard for subnetting and there weren't any subnetting questions on the test. So you never know what you're going to be hit with when taking the CompTIA Network Plus test. And finally, some easy advice: arrive on time, be prepared. Maybe even bring a pencil. Bring whatever you can that's allowed to help you when taking the CompTIA Network Plus. Whether it be a pencil or whether it be a piece of paper that you hold in your car before you take the test, maybe you arrive to the site a little bit early. Whatever you could use to prepare for the test, just be prepared. Arrive on time, arrive a little bit early. Just be prepared in any fashion so you won't be caught off guard. That's some easy advice I have for you when taking the Network Plus test. So some final statements, I would just say be prepared and be on task, be on time, gain resources, read up, read the book. There are many resources out there like Professor Messer, Jason Dion. There are just overall a lot of resources out there, even the book. I would just say grab whatever you can to study for it and be prepared because it's a tough test. I'm not going to lie, it's tough. There are a lot of terms, there are a lot of numbers. You got to be prepared for whatever's being thrown at you. So just be prepared for any outcome. I'm studying for the Security Plus now, so hopefully with the knowledge I have from the Network Plus, I could be better prepared now that I'm going for the Security Plus. So hopefully that turns out well, and let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that the Network Plus is harder than the Security Plus, or vice versa? Let me know what you guys think in the comments about that. Like and subscribe if you liked this video. Hopefully you found this advice valuable. I just want to give my advice on taking the Network Plus because my personal experience was my personal experience, but I know many people have different experience taking the CompTIA test, whether it be the A+, the Network Plus, or Security Plus. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Have a nice day.